Okay, today we'll be working on a 2008 Ford Expedition. I've already taken the door. Okay, here's a note. This part here, actually, this plastic part, it comes off. So when you're taking that door panel off, you can get that off. We'll be replacing the window motor. I've already taken the door panel off, and there's 2 screws there. There's a screw up here. There's one here. And then there's 2 more at the bottom. And I think that's it. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 screws total. And then taking this insulation off. The way the door actually works, after you get the screws off, it's hooked in with these hooks, and so you'll be lifting it up and it'll kind of break loose. This one gave me a lot of trouble up top, but it'll kind of break loose, and then you can start kind of pulling it away from the door, and then you just basically have to wrestle it out. And then there's 2 plugs. There's a plug here, and then there's 2 more that go to the door handle. And you just unplug all these clips. There's one here. 1, 2, 3. So there's 3 total. One here. Oh yeah, here it is. They plug into the bottom where the up and down and the locks are. And then this one plugs in. This is the speaker. But you can't mess that up. They only go one place. You just have to plug them back in. So right now I'm taking this insulation off, and it is kind of glued in. So I'm just kind of peeling it off, and then we can get access to the motor. And hopefully it'll be easy change out. Okay, before I finish removing this, and on this I didn't pull it all off. You could pull it off, but I figured I'd leave it as close to factory as I could. But it looks like there's 3 bolts. I've pulled 2 of them out, and they got the little special star head, whatever you call it. And then I unplugged this. It's plugged in right here. So just gotta finish that and then put in the new one. Okay, here's a look at our new unit. So that's what we're dealing with. Okay, and now it's been like 3 or 4 days. That was a Saturday, and today actually it's been like 6 days. That first window motor they got me had the wrong fitting. There's 2 of them. One of them will have the 2-pin, and the other one is, I believe it's 8-pin. We returned that one. Other than that, they look identical. And so when you order it, you have to tell them which one, you know, or the parts guy didn't even ask us that time, you know, the first time. But there's the parts number for this one. So I'm gonna see if I can get this in there real quick. You know, the other one fit, but it had a bigger piece on the end, but it still fit in there. It's identical. But anyway, let's get this one in real quick. Okay, got it back in there. There's the 3 bolts, and then this plugs back in. So, sorry, the lighting's a little bad right now. I'm doing this in the morning, but there's that. So get this kind of put back together. and I'll give it a test. Okay, here's a look at where I hooked the wires back up on the door. I'm sorry the video's kind of bad. This is kind of awkward, but there. Get back a little bit. But you hook your wires back up, and there's, like I said, there's only 3 places they can go. So you hook them back up, and then the door panel a little awkward. Sorry, the light's terrible right here. But I'm gonna kind of hook it in and then give it a test real quick. Okay, I went ahead and pulled outside so I can see a little better to put the door panel on. But it's just kind of sitting there, and I'm gonna test it on this side and see if the window will work now. Yeah, lock it. Looks like I got a problem. So I can hear it working, but something must have happened where. Oh, wait a second. That does not sound good. It finally went up. Let me check that out. Yep, we got a problem. I was a little suspect of this cable anyway, but I thought I would try it. I didn't touch anything. I just put it back together, and then so just that little it was probably broke already, and then that burned out the motor or something. It probably burned out the other motor or caused it damage. But this cable is messed up. It's like kind of stripped out, and so I'm gonna have to find out if this is even something I can fix. You know, or I'm sure they sell another one, but I'm gonna have to look, see how it even hooks together. Okay, guess what? To replace this piece, it comes the whole assembly together. So right now I'm taking everything apart on here, undoing all the bolts, and then I'm gonna have to pull out some of the wires that are clipped in. So this is quite a little thing. But then also made a little diagram, and as I remove the bolts, I'm putting them in. You know, my drawing's not the best, but when I go back to put it together, I'll know where everything goes. Okay, sorry that my lighting is so terrible, but here's what we got. That's the new piece that I was able to put in, and there's 2 bolts that hold the glass. It's right here and over here. And what I did, I taped the window up. You know, I don't know what the correct procedure is. I taped it up, and then I loosened those and was able to wrestle out the old one, and then put in the new one. And it was the track started down here, so I raised it up to the window, and then I let the tape off, and then I lowered it, and I was loosened it, and sorry, this lighting is terrible. But I loosened the bolts on the new one, and then I pushed the window in, and it kind of it had markings where the window was before, so I was able to tell. And then but anyway, then I tightened it up. I didn't over tighten it, but I tightened it, and then I tested it a couple times. It goes up and down, so I would not recommend doing this yourself. I was able to do it, but I'm still in the process. And what I did on these bolts here is I just kind of started them, so I got to go back and tighten those, and then I still need to put the speaker back in, which it just has 2 plugs and then 4 screws, and then kind of put this thing back together. All right. Okay, here's a look at got her working. To me, it still seems like it goes up slow, but you know that one, of course, automatically goes down as soon as you hit the button. But I guess that one goes up kind of slow too. But I've tried it several times and it's working.